2024 election battle, the EVM bogey viewers is back in action today. There was a meeting held at NCP chief Sharad Pawar's residence in the national capital. He had invited leaders of opposition to discuss the efficacy of the electronic voting machines. Now, except for the TMC, 13 opposition parties participated in this meeting. That's the photo of that meeting. You can see several of them, Sharad Pawar, Kapil Sibal, Digvijay Singh, to name some of them. Now, sources are telling Times now that the opposition believes that the chips used in the EVMs can be hacked. The Vipaksh is likely to take this issue to the EC once again and also to the court. The opposition has decided that it will demand that all VVPAT slips be matched with the EVM votes in case of any discrepancy, in order to not let democracy be hijacked but by unscrupulous elements. This meeting has now triggered a political war of words, but sample the reactions coming in from those who are part of this meeting. Here is what they said about the EVMs.
हमने तय किया कि चुनाव आयोग के पास हम जाएंगे और जो सवालात हमने कई वर्षों से उनको खड़े ईवीएम के बारे में हमने कहा है, उनके जवाब दें वो, और हम आखिरी बार जाएंगे क्योंकि आज तक कोई जवाब नहीं मिला। नहीं, मशीन पे संदेह है। मेरी वोट कहाँ गई ये मुझे पता होना चाहिए, ना कि मशीन मुझे बताए। वो भी नहीं मुझे मालूम कि मेरी वोट कहाँ गई, वो तो मशीन काउंट ही करती है ना, मेरे सामने तो नहीं काउंट होता।
ऐसे अनेक सवाल हैं जिनका उत्तर माननीय चुनाव आयोग से हमको मांगना है। सभी राजनीतिक दलों ने जो यहां मौजूद हैं, उन्होंने इस पर सहमति व्यक्त की है कि हमें प्रश्न पूछना चाहिए, जवाब लेना चाहिए।
Concerns about the EVMs, essentially saying EVMs can be hacked. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, Karan Verma, Lokesh Jindal, Sanjay Jha, Kapish Srivastava, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Now, लोकेश जिंदल, मैं सीधा पूछ रहा हूं, अभी हिमाचल प्रदेश इलेक्शन रिजल्ट्स आए, क्या हुआ वहां पे? वर ईवीएम्स हैक्ड?
Pranesh, elections serve a very important purpose of securing legitimacy to the government, and the manner in which they are conducted, they have to be free and fair, much to the acceptance of the voters. We must understand, why is it that USA doesn't have EVMs? Why is it that Japan does not have EVMs? Because it's not application of technology which is primary, but it is the satisfaction of the voters, of all those who are participating in the electoral process. So Election Commission cannot arbitrarily introduce some form of a technological input and try to have the elections as per its way. It has to be acceptable to the voters and to the democratic system at large. And when the opposition parties are objecting to it, the Election Commission must take due cognizance of it and either convince the opposition parties or bring about necessary reforms.
Sanju Verma?
Yes.
Prime Minister Modi said in Parliament, "Ek akela Modi sab pe bhari hai." The opposition says, "Nahi, EVM bhari hai. There is some problem with the EVM."
Okay, you know, Pranesh, this is a very interesting debate, and I just want to point out something. I was reading the findings of the 2019 Supreme Court Monitored Committee, and I'm just going to read out the statement by the ex-Chief Election Commissioner of India, who, by the way, is not a Sanghi. I know he writes many open columns which are completely anti-BJP. Before people start jumping, oh, ye to BJP ke Sangh Parivar ke ex-Chief Election Commissioner hai. S.Y. Qureshi. He says that the reason why an EVM cannot be hacked is the fact that there is no networking component. While there is a chip in the EVM, because it is not networked to any internet connectivity during the time that polling happens, it is next to impossible for an EVM to be hacked. And just in 20 seconds, I'll tell you. He has said that the EVM consists of two units. BU, the balloting unit, and CU, the controlling unit. And he said that the BU and the CU are distributed independently and they are connected only on the day of the polling. And if one of them has been tampered with, the entire polling process
Sanju Verma, what are you saying?
Compatible.
So are you saying that the opposition is rattled? Are they preparing ground ahead of 2020?
Pranesh, just tell me one simple thing. EVM was working in Himachal Pradesh. Did you see any BJP leader saying Himachal Pradesh mein, because the BJP lost, ईवीएम ने काम करना बंद कर दिया? नो, वी टेक बोथ आवर विक्ट्रीज एंड आवर लॉसेस इन आवर स्ट्राइड, बट दी कांग्रेस सेड हिमाचल प्रदेश में तो ईवीएम काम कर रहे थे, बट उत्तर प्रदेश में काम नहीं किए, त्रिपुरा में काम नहीं किए, गुजरात में काम नहीं किए, लोकसभा 2014 में काम नहीं किए, लोकसभा 2019 में काम नहीं किए. द पॉइंट विद द कांग्रेस इज दैट यू अंडरमाइन द इलेक्टोरल legitimacy of the people each time you raise questions and make reckless allegations.
Reckless allegations, election
is winning.
Reckless allegations
because of the Modi.
Okay, let's have a response. Kapish Srivastava of the Samajwadi Party is also with us. Sanjay ji, I'm coming to you. Let me bring in Mr. Srivastava. कपिश श्रीवास्तव जी, अब आप बताइए, हिमाचल प्रदेश, बंगाल, केरला, छत्तीसगढ़, यहाँ पे क्या अलग देश से ईवीएम आता है क्या? यहाँ पे तो बीजेपी की सरकार नहीं है.
दो तीन बातें हैं.
नहीं, पहले ये बता दीजिए, फिर दो तीन बताइएगा. ये कहां से आ रहा है ईवीएम?
दो तीन कहने के बाद ही ये बात आपको समझ में आ गया. हम
चलिए, ठीक है.
देखिए, ये देश जो है वो लोकतंत्र से चलता है, और लोकतंत्र किसी मशीन के हवाले कर देना जिस पर जनता को विश्वास ना हो, और जनता की अभिव्यक्ति का माध्यम राजनीतिक दल होते हैं, और अगर 21 राजनीतिक दल को उस पर विश्वास नहीं है तो निश्चित तौर पे हम समझते हैं उनके विश्वास को जीता जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि लोकतंत्र इससे कायम होता है. अब मैं दूसरी बात कहता हूं. जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव इनके ऑनरेबल उप क्या है वो
राज्यसभा एमपी है, नेशनल स्पोक्सपर्सन है.
हाँ. और मुझे आप एक बात बताइए, उन्होंने एक किताब लिखी थी हैकिंग पर एक किताब लिखी थी जिसका विमोचन किया था लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी जी. यूपीए के समय पे वो हैक होती थी, और अब हुजूर का जो समय है इसमें हैक नहीं हो सकती. और मैं दूसरी चीज एक आपको कह रहा हूं, आपने कहा कि पंजाब में हैक नहीं हुई या पंजाब में मशीन दूसरी तरह से चली, हिमाचल में दूसरी तरह से. अरे भाई, चोरी करने वाला जानता है ना कि हमको कहाँ चोरी करना.
अच्छा,
आपके पड़ोस में अगर चोरी हो जाए तो इस पर आप चोर से कंप्लेंट ना कीजिएगा कि साहब आपने चोरी नहीं की है, आप तो हमारे
तो जब इससे पहले अखिलेश यादव चीफ मिनिस्टर बने थे तो चोरी किसने की थी? समाजवादी पार्टी ने की थी, बीजेपी ने की थी. ये वो चोरी करके आपको दे दिया माल कि आप रखिए, अब आपका है.
मैं तो ये आपको साफ कह रहा हूं कि ये तो लोकतंत्र में जो ईवीएम मशीन सेटिंग्स कराते होंगे वो जानते होंगे. और मैं साफ बात,
कौन कराता है? इलेक्शन कमीशन करवाता है. अब आपको पार्लियामेंट पे भरोसा नहीं है, जुडिशरी पे भरोसा नहीं है, इलेक्शन कमीशन पे भरोसा नहीं है. कोई बोल रहा था भी जापान या कहां.
दूसरी चीज, ये तो आप, मैं तो पूछ रहा हूं ना, ये तो चोर जानेगा ना कि उसे चोरी कहां करनी.
कहां चोरी कर दी है? संजू वर्मा, यू आंसर हिम. कपिश श्रीवास्तव ऑफ द समाजवादी पार्टी.
इनसे आंसर ये दिलाइए कि वही मशीन.
अब आप आंसर तो सुनिए, आंसर सुनिए. क्या बीजेपी चोरी कर रही है? आर यू स्टीलिंग मैंडेट? संजू वर्मा, इज द बीजेपी इन द बिजनेस ऑफ स्टीलिंग मैंडेट? इट्स अ सीरियस चार्ज.
Okay, Pranesh, Lokesh made a very interesting point. He said that, Japan does not have EVMs. So, Japan का example आपने दिया. Let me tell you, there are 127 countries in the world which use EVMs. So, next time you give the Japanese example, remember these 127 countries. And Pranesh, what is the beauty of the Congress argument which is on such a thin wicket? EVM was used for the first time when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister in 1982 on a selective basis, and in 1988 it was used in various state elections when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister on a larger scale. तो EVM का जन्म हुआ था कांग्रेस के नेतृत्व के दौरान. इसलिए आज यहाँ बैठकर EVM पर भाषण मत दीजिए.
नहीं, but संजू वर्मा,
as far as the समाजवादी पार्टी is concerned, I just want to ask, आपने जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव का एग्जाम्पल दिया, तो पूछती हूं, 2012 में जब अखिलेश यादव जीतकर समाजवादी पार्टी के तहत मुख्यमंत्री बने थे उत्तर प्रदेश में,
नहीं होता है.
तब ईवीएम सही काम कर रहा था.
संजू वर्मा जी,
अखिलेश यादव जब मुख्यमंत्री बने,
जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव को खंडन कीजिए. आप यहाँ से अडवाणी साहब को संयम कीजिए, आप ये कहिए कि आप उस समय से एक बात कहते थे जिस तरह योगी
No, but Sanju Verma, Mr. Srivastava wants you to answer on the book that was written by GVL Narasimha Rao. It's still available on Amazon, by the way.
ये आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि 8 घंटे में एक चपरासी की नियुक्ति नहीं होती है और आपने बताया।
No, he's asking you a question. You have to respond to that. He says that this man who's written this book questioning EVMs is a member of parliament from the BJP, national spokesperson no less.
ठीक है, अभी आपको मैं संजू वर्मा right now 2023 national spokesperson of BJP कह रही हूँ that EVMs cannot be tampered और ये हमारे पूर्व चीफ इलेक्शन
नहीं ये नहीं चलेगा, ये तो नकलियां उनकी बातें हो गई।
अच्छा ये नहीं चलेगा। संजय वर्मा is also not convinced. Okay, Sanjay Jha coming in. Okay, Srivastava ji, 1 minute. Sanjay Jha. Karan, I am coming to you after this.
Pranesh, I think Srivastava ji is absolutely right, because Mr. L.K. Advani in fact made a very good alternative suggestion, which I think a lot of opposition parties agreed with him, that you can run the EVM, but you must have a parallel, kind of a paper trail to ensure that the two are reconciled. You see, the simple point that we need to understand, Pranesh, if you want a robust democracy, you want to make sure that not a single vote is tampered with or not counted to the correct party. And I'll tell you where the irony really exists. Think about it. Samajwadi Party won an election, Congress has won elections, TMC has won election, NCP has done well. Why are these opposition parties that have won state elections still saying that the EVM system is not foolproof?
Well, the TMC was not part of the meeting today, but Sanjay Jha, to answer your question, and I'll get a response from Sanju Verma, and Karan also wants to come in. Tell me this, I mean, after the election results in Himachal, the Congress party could have gone to the election commission, set a precedent and said that, look, we don't agree with the result. I think we've lost or we need more votes. We are not coming to par. Let's hold the elections again. We are ready to concede. Let's have the ballot box. I mean, there are several other states in which the BJP is not in par. And every time this keeps coming up, this has gone to the Supreme Court. Now we are back to it.
Pranesh, let me tell you, I know many of the opposition leaders, particularly Mr. Sibal and Mr. Digvijay Singh, they have aired their apprehensions at multiple intervals in the past.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why they are justified. Because today, just because supposing the Congress were to win the 2024 election, it does not mean that the EVMs are still foolproof. And I think our effort should be to try and make our democracy...
Yes. Karan Verma, this is not Bahana, there is a problem, says Sanjay Jha.
Opposition stance.
Now, I hope nobody interrupts. I just want to reply up to 2-3 things that have been raised. Number one thing that Mr. Kapish raised. Mr. Kapish said, हम एक मशीन के हवाले नहीं कर देंगे पूरी चीज. ये वो पार्टी है प्रणेश जिसने 2009 का अपना मैनिफेस्टो 12 अप्रैल 2009 का उसमें इन्होंने कहा था वी आर अगेंस्ट कंप्यूटर्स बिकॉज कंप्यूटर्स आर गोइंग टू डिस्ट्रॉय द फैब्रिक ऑफ आवर कंट्री. सो टॉकिंग अबाउट मॉडर्नाइजेशन एंड समाजवादी पार्टी ने भी कहा था. Now let me answer.
के समझौते में भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने भी कहा था.
अब उनको जवाब देने दीजिए कपिल श्रीवास्तव जी, अब उनको जवाब देने दीजिए. देखिए आपने अपना जवाब आपने दिया, उनको बोलने दीजिए.
नहीं, ये तो कहना पड़ेगा ना, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने नहीं कहा था.
बोलने दीजिए कपिल श्रीवास्तव जी, समय की पाबंदी है, समझिए प्लीज, उनको बोलने दीजिए.
मूर्खता का स्मारक चला रही है
श्रीवास्तव जी, पहले तो शांत हो जाइए, गुस्सा मत होइए, उनको करण वर्मा को जवाब तो देने दीजिए, समय नहीं है ज्यादा सर, प्लीज.
मोदी जी ने कहा.
अरे कपिल श्रीवास्तव जी, उनको बोलने दीजिए. आई हैव टू लोअर योर फेडर सर, प्लीज. उनको करण वर्मा, मेक योर पॉइंट.
Pranesh, we are time and again raising why GVL Narasimha Rao came up with this book in 2009. And in 2009, not only him, Dr. Swami came up with this. And at that time, the same Kapil Sibal that Sanjay Jha is talking about, he said, why are you destroying the credibility of EC? But Dr. Swami went to court and he got an order in 2013 to introduce what Sanjay Jha is saying, verified voter paper audit trail. So here is the BJP or some other people who are actually working towards strengthening an institution. He did that in 2013 when Congress was opposing it. And look today, when we have the EVM which is functioning fine, and BJP has suffered a number of defeats. Talk about Punjab, talk about Delhi. So, today they have no business saying that, you know, there is a problem with the EVM.
Okay.
If you have a problem, come up with a solution, approach the court, get
Well,
an order.
I'm
and
sure they
strengthen the
will,
democracy.
because they have said that they will approach the Election Commission and the court. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I'm sorry, Sanju Verma. Don't have time on the show. Karan Verma. Lokesh Jindal, you also wanted to come in. I'm sorry. We'll keep this for next time. I'm sure as we go along, there will be developments on this front. Thanks for joining us on this. Let's see whether this is a bahana or a genuine concern and what the poll panel has to say on this. That's all we could packing on India Upfront. Navita Kumar with the news hour on the other side.